Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today we are going to be going over teams for the new Mythic of Champion of Anu. He will be in the Glory Gem Guild and VIP chest for this week only, and then he'll be in the drop pool with everything else. Also, don't forget, other than him, we also have the Treasure Vault event. This will last from today, this Friday, until the Monday reset, so until the end of Sunday, or 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, or basically 2 days and 21 hours, as it says right there. And in that time, we'll also have an increased chance to find treasure gnomes, as well as vault keys, and we'll be streaming quite a bit of that. But anyways, main thing we're here for, teams for the new troop, so let's get into it. Let's just start right into them and go straight to PvP. So, Champion of Anu, what does this thing do? It is a silence, stun, and drain all mana from a single target of an enemy. So basically very similar to what a Dracos 1337 does. And then instead of doing a instant kill, it will then do damage to that troop as well as all troops below it. So if you end up hitting first troop, it'll hit everything. If you hit the second troop, like the Azura there, it'll hit the Azura and then the two below it, and so on and so forth. So if we were to use it on all the way on last slot, if it didn't have stealthy, it would only hit that and would hit nothing else. So a little bit unfortunate. You'd kind of have to almost always throw it on either the first or second slot. Of course, ideally the first every single time, as that would give you the best value. Though that is not the main purpose of this troop. The main purpose actually comes from its traits. It is the first troop to get the non-unique traits of Aegis. This is the highest mitigation for skulls that isn't unique to any troop. He is currently the only one that has it, though future troops will be having it. It's a 60% skull reduction. The only two troops that have higher is Gorgotha off its unique trait of 75%, and the Stonehammer with its unique trait of 80% skull mitigation. And of course, the main reason they would be used for is for the +1 stats that it gives to all blue allies per turn. So if you have a full team of blue, you'll be gaining a total of 4 stats across the entire team to everything, or 1 on each of them to all of their stats. So going to be really effective, obviously, on blue Guild War days. Definitely a really nice pickup to get if you need help with blue Guild War days, as that is essentially its primary purpose. But we're going to be going right now into some PvP teams, as well as some that might be able to be integrated into Guild War purpose teams. So let's get straight into it with this one. Going to be using this, in this case, the Sea Troll for our mana generation that we need. I'm actually using the War for this team. He didn't really go over it much, but War did get buffed in the most recent patch. It was a relatively small buff, but he now does have 3 attack gain per turn instead of 2, which combined with this is now giving him a 4 attack gain per turn among the other stats he's naturally gaining from it. So right off the bat, he's going to get a drain soon. I can't really do much around that. For whatever reason, he goes for the last slot. That's actually really beneficial for us because that means we can start going crazy for the Sea Troll. Then again, not really any particularly good moves. I don't want to accidentally do something that'll backfire here. I think I'm going for double green, so we'll go for that. Not exactly what I was going for, but I'll take it. Sure, we'll go move. We actually have that, though we can't really get it off at the moment. I want to get a double blue here. Before I do, does he have a skull that he can take? Is there even the possibility of skull? It doesn't appear to be so. So we're going to throw it out on first slot, and that now gives us our poke. Oh, good. He did not get an extra turn there. But now we have a really gigantic poke here. We just go for that immediately, get our double. Oh, for a second I thought that missed. That would be quite unfortunate. But double check what we have here. Don't see too many good moves. We'll go for that. Try to get the Cascade over there. Did not get it. No skulls I can drop. I guess I could try for chance, but oh, we'll go for it. So we'll go for that. We don't have to deal with Scion anymore, so it's not as scary. We'll go for the single hit there. 50% armored, hitting right through it. Just hits and kills it out immediately. We, of course, can go use Queen Jezebel on it and utilize it that way, but at this point, it looks like we're just going to go for another poke. I can't hit Spirit Fox due to stealthy, so we only have 1 possible target. Oh, and we didn't even get to use Anu on this team. Mainly because it's almost just essentially focused all around War more so. It's more of a War team almost than a Anu team. Mainly because everything on this team is kind of orienting towards the front line. I believe the next team we will be using does use him as our frontline troop, so we can utilize the fact he has his 60% skull reduction a bit better. Oh, there we go, right into the one-shot. If nothing else, that shows buffed up War, that's for sure. War, still not really the best of troops, but if you are using more knight-oriented troops like that one is, it does have its potential. Anyways, a lot of knights actually do tend to use the blue, so the fact that Champion of Anu does have that blue, he's really good with all the blues. Oh, wait, what? Oh, never mind. That's not a real treasure gnome. For a second, sorry. I thought that was like, wait, no. If you ever see this, I have seen some people mentioning this. If you ever see like a treasure gnome like this is not a real treasure gnome. This is a fake treasure gnome. It is a player who has gotten the treasure gnome troop and is setting it on their team. That is not actually a treasure gnome. You'll see in this battle he does not actually have a bag next to him. But anyways, like I mentioned, we're going to be going now with the frontline champion of Anu. As I mentioned also, a lot of knights do have the blue. Actually, all three of these knights, as you can see. Champion Anu, blue. The Queen Isabel, blue. And Knight Coronet, blue. That is what a real one looks like. Well, I was correct in saying that he wasn't real. But, yeah, that's the difference. Actually, this is a really good example right here. Let me actually screenshot that. That is a really good example. Because some people have been mentioning this. But yes, if you see this, this is not actually a real one. If you see it in the preview image, you can never see the real one in a preview image. Like you saw if you go back in a tape, you didn't see this second one in the 4 troops that we had that we're up against right now. This one right here, this first one, the one that doesn't have a bag in the top left corner of the card, this is a player that has gotten it as a troop. This is not the actual gnome. That one with the bag right there is the actual gnome, and we need to go kill him, because that is indeed a real gnome, and I have no way of killing it with this team. So, yeah, that's not good. I guess we'll need to go use his silence capability and go get that down. Luckily, he has another gnome, his actual gnome, or, well, I guess actual gnome, the player-owned gnome in front of him, so at least he's blocking red initially. If that one flees, that doesn't really matter at all, because it's just a normal gnome. It's not the real one. Okay, so we need our purple. I kind of want to blue into that purple, though not really worth it. We're just going to start and front line. Oh, wow, we actually got a 7 mana right there. Very nice. We're just going to keep going with our front line, keep getting it buffed up. Throw that ability on that last slot, maybe. As much as I want to get him disabled, oh no. Actually, at this point, Gorgolfa is almost seeming more enticing, just so it doesn't give him a bunch of mana. I don't have a drop over here. It's not enough to kill it, regardless of which way I go with this. I guess we go... I really got to get rid of Gorgolfa. I don't even care if he gets a Scion here, so we'll go for that. It damages almost everything. That one's going to flee, though. Again, that's not the real one, so it doesn't matter. And that guy's out. Don't you get red mana, don't you dare. Okay, he flees. Okay, never mind, he doesn't even flee. Perfect. So that works out great for us. I need to go and kill that out now, so we'll do it again on the Gorgolfa. Got all of our mana back, and again, just throw it down, keep getting it disabled. He can't really do anything. His mana's drained, he's silenced, he's stunned. We can even skull poke him right now because, of course, he's stunned, so he no longer has 75% skull reduction, and down he goes. And can we get a vault key? As I mentioned, the event is running through the entire weekend, so the chance of getting a vault key has been increased! Okay, well, this wasn't intended for this video, but into the vault key battle. Going a little bit off what we would normally do, but hey, we just got a vault key off one. Might as well, let's see what we get from it. Oops, that's not where you use a vault key. Not at all. You use it under games, underneath the vault key section. Okay, not with this team, obviously. Let me just go run with a quick wipe. They are pretty easy to take out. So whatever you would use for your quick destruction team is pretty much the same thing you would use here. Let me go with the super safe version, just in case. You never know what might happen. So we're going to go Forest Guardian. And what is the other one called? Why can I not remember what it's called? Ogren. So we'll go super safe here, get our quick kill, and let's go see what we get from this key real quick. Might as well. Vault key, what do you have? But yeah, definitely a great time to go and try farming down vault keys if you haven't already. Definitely do it this weekend because the rate of doing it this weekend will be higher than it will ever be. And it runs once every month, so for the weekend. So definitely make sure to utilize it. Oh, drown! Don't you dare! Oh, good, he didn't leave. Actually, that would be even worse if that one leaves. Oh, wow. But let's go get the poke there, and let's see. Did we get any good loots? Let's see some orbs. Let's see some unique troops. Let's see something. There we go! We got one of the 3 uniques, and we also got 4,000 gold, 4 gem keys, and 2 minor warders. As you can see, this gnome, this is not a real gnome, this is just the player-owned gnomes, as I was mentioning earlier. And if you ever see one randomly on a person's team, that's just because they have this little guy on it, like that. Wait, what was I doing with that? How did a champion of Anu get on this team? Anyways, I don't believe I was messing with that earlier. Was I? Okay, well apparently I was. Anyways. But yeah, you can just randomly put him in one of your teams or whatever. He just functions like a normal gnome does. He's nothing special. The only real special one there is the legend from it. Anyways, enough of that. Let's go back into the final team here, into not against that, because that is not a real team. Well, that's a real team. That's all goblins, so we'll go into that. And let's use the final one here. Our pure blue. Well, another pure blue. Our previous one was also pure blue. This is pure blue AoE, so it hits all enemies and everything like that. So we'll go in with this one. Okay, so right off the bat, looks like we'll want to take blues and purples. We're using a first slot Azura to basically for that purpose. You may notice I'm not using a core Vash. That's mainly because I wanted to stick with everything, being able to hit everything. That's mainly because troops like these gain quite a bit more benefit from having additional magic, since every single additional magic they have is 1 additional damage to every single enemy, which is obviously quite potent. Well, we'll go take a green there. I mainly took that for the purple, and we did actually get it off Cascade, so very lucky there. I kind of want to explode, kind of don't. Depends what he's really going to do here, but I guess we'll go for it. So we'll get that down, get our explosion. Perfectly fine. We can go for that disable. Actually, I think that's enough to kill. No, it's not. But luckily, he does have the drain and everything. I could go for a skull instead. That is also slightly tempting. I believe we get some brown out of it too, even though we already have all that mana. But yeah, we'll go do that. Oh, wait, we can't target the Fizz Bank. Oh, slight mistake. We don't have any way of pre-stunning it because we don't have a core Vash or anything. So that will not work. But we'll go and, I guess, disable out the next in line. Go to that. Now he doesn't have the +1 red on his little trait thing. And do we have a good Christine X here? Not really, but I guess might as well get something safe. So we'll go for that. We could go Behemoth here. Don't think I'm going to need it. Also works as a backline tank if you need it for anti-Kraken or anti-freeze or anything like that. Again, still can't target that, so no point in really going for it. Wow, I need that to be destroyed. That's actually really annoying with this stealthies. Yeah, we kind of do need the core Vash if they're running a stealthy. I didn't really... I haven't had that situation yet, but it does make him quite a bit harder to hit. If the first 2 troops on the opposing team, for example, if they were both stealthy for whatever reason, that almost never happens. But if that was the case, it'd be really hard to really get value out of him because you'd have to hit the 3rd or the 4th slot. The only team I can really think of that does that, but it's not really used anymore, is Double Wisp, Christine X, and something else, whatever used to get used with it. But that team has kind of been retired as of recently, so not as many people really bother with it nowadays. But anyways, guys, this is the new guy. What is this person using with it? Interesting. Uriali and Dawnbringer. That is one that I didn't really show. But yes, Dawnbringer Bard. I was mentioning earlier in the previous video that we just did with the key opening that I didn't want to get a second copy of him because we could just use Bard. But this was exactly what I meant. You can use your Dawnbringer with the Bard hero class while also using the Champion of Anu to basically just have a second Champion of Anu. Except it just does something different and now has the AoE and everything like that. Yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting team. Why did I have this one up here, though? Let me go use whatever we had up here. What was this? It was Forest Troll, Nyx... Oh, I know what this was from. This was from the previous video that we were just doing. Oh, sure, let's go try this again. This was from the key opening video because we had so much time because I got it immediately. For any of you that haven't seen it yet, spoilers, we got it in 50 gem chests. But, yeah, since we got it so quickly, I was messing with some teams. That is where this team came from, I remember now. So, first things first, I want to take browns and blues to get our mana going. That blue is a trap, so no. Well, then again, purple would not be horrible. It is important to drain him too, so you know what, we'll go for some purple start. Not enough to really get us going, but hey, if we just take this green and go for one more, we're kind of already going. He's going to poke us again. I'm going to let him because there's really no point in stopping him. Then again, never mind. I can't take that or else he gets yellow. And that will go into Uriali, which I do not want to have happen. So we'll go entangle him there. He gets that little bit of cascaded mana. We'll go for all this over here and get our Nyx. Please don't get full mana. Oh, you didn't just do that. You didn't just do that. Okay, good. He silenced our first slot, which would normally be bad because that's actually the best thing for him to hit. Though, in a way, it's not, because we can do this. Double check that doesn't have immune to mana drain. No, it does not. And let's go get everything up. And now that we have both of those two up, we can go and... oh, I should have actually done the... Oh, I should have done the 3rd slot there. Then hit Anu on 2nd slot. Bad ordering there. Okay, I'll get used to using him eventually. We'll go throw him down right there. Get our silence that we need. Get a little bit of poke on him, though that's not really too relevant at the moment. We'll go throw this onto our 1st slot to keep it alive. I do need more purple, do need more greens. Tempted to take that, though the chance of him taking it isn't really that likely since he doesn't use that mana. So we'll just do that. He doesn't go for it. Decent points. We'll go and take a purple here, get another dragon, looks like this time on Uriali, and should be able to get that down. Oh, we now have it on another option here. Not a good enough board for it, but I kind of have to do it, unless I want to take that yellow, which isn't too good of a take, so I'm not going to bother. We'll go take that. Doubling green at this point. Again, not that great of a board to throw it down on, But yeah, we'll waste one turn. Try getting a little bit more green on the board. We got one more, so I guess we'll go for it now. Again, it does indeed miss, but Furry Alley right there, giving the full mana pool that we need. Things like Nyx and Florian, they are so amazingly good against Mythics. If you happen to not have any and you see any in those little color things, you might want to get one if you're struggling against just general Mythics, because they are such a hard counter to these kind of things. Which is a good majority of late game teams do run very heavy and this kind of stuff. But anyways, we now can either utilize this for more of the silence or for the actual damage aspect. I think we're going to go for the damage aspect and just keep poking it down. So we'll go get that down, get a little bit of poke on everything. Ideally, I want to just wipe that out with something, but oh, I should have taken that purple first. But yeah, we don't have anything to drain. That's the only slight problem too. Keep disabling so much mana that I now have none to actually boost based on. So I'll just go take that over, get a nice little poke in it, a little bit of overkill, but oh well. If nothing else, at least he's alive and able to one-shot them with every scroll he takes. Again, well, actually that should be enough mana. We'll go for it. 13 should be able to land on that board. And now we just go and refire it again, get our cast off, and that gets another fire down. And we're good to go. Not much he can really do. Even if he does get up, we can just simply drain him. And once again, we go right back into it, get the poke, and down it goes. But anyways, that is the new Anu. Mainly, I would mainly use it for Blue Guild War Day. Personally, for PvP, I don't personally see myself using it much in actual PvP battles. Maybe here and there, I'll kind of mess around with it. Of course, in the future, it might have additional purposes, because the more blue troops that get added to the game, the more possibilities he has, particularly if they're humans and knights, as those are the two main things. Blue human knights are his really big synergies. But yeah, definitely a solid Guild War kind of troop that you'd plug into a Blue Guild War Day. Of course, Guild Wars now only occurs once every 3 weeks, so not as needed to get core Guild War related troops. But definitely, if you are looking for a Blue Guild War replacement or something to integrate into your team, that is the kind of troop to get. As far as is he worth getting or not, he's not one of the extremely over-the-top troops. If you have a Corvash, you pretty much have this troop in a way. They're not necessarily exactly the same. Anu kind of reminds me of what Corvash was before it was nerfed, because Corvash used to have a 50% skull reduction, but then they lowered it down to 25%. So in a way, Anu's kind of like that tankiness that that Corvash used to have, and now with the plus boost that he does to all stats as well, to all blues, definitely makes him even tankier on top of that. But yeah, definitely a nice utility troop, not something you would run in some kind of core team or anything like that. You can mess around with it with Dawnbringer Bard, you can mess around with it with really heavy hitting blue troops, but for the most part, he's kind of just, as I mentioned, Blue Guild Wars. But anyways, guys, if you have any other questions, need suggestions or anything of the such, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And as I mentioned, we will be streaming quite a lot today, possibly for 12 hours, definitely more towards 10 plus. We will be streaming and trying to get as many vault keys as we possibly can. As you saw, we ended up getting a gnome. I do want to reiterate that because it is pretty important to mention this entire weekend. You will be able to farm a lot of these things. And if you've been wanting to get the uniques from here, like that guy that gives a 100% gold bonus and such like that, definitely the time to do it this weekend, because this event only occurs once per month, so you won't see it again until April sometime. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up. I'll see you all later. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye, everyone.